Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a scrollable tab. So this is where you have content hidden off the side of your page and you have a little bit of a tab showing. People can then click on that tab and drag the content out onto the page. So let's get started. So first of all I'm going to create a new document. Remember that when you're creating any of this kind of interactive content, you need to be working with an intent of digital publishing. So make sure you've got that chosen. I'm going to make sure that my primary text frame is turned off and I'm just going to click OK to that. So here's my iPad size piece of paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a few frames for this. So I'm going to show you how this works by building it up. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to go here and just create a rectangle. So I'm just going to draw out a shape like a rectangle like this. And then I will fill that, I think. So I'm going to take the stroke off. I don't really want a stroke on there, so I'm going to take that off and I'm going to fill it with like a green color. So there we go, I'm going to fill it with that green colour. What I might do with that as well, I might just reduce the tint of that as well down so that it's not such that bright green. I just want it as a sort of, this is a bit like the opacity, if you like, of the green. So I'm just going to take down the tint there so it goes down to be a sort of a soft green. Okay, so that's that done. I'm going to get my selection tool, I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to click on this little yellow box here, and that changes these corners into yellow diamonds. And then if you click and drag that in, this is changing the corner radius. So that's a very quick way of changing corner radius. It can also be done up here as well on your options bar up at the top. Okay, so there's that part done. I now want to just create some text. I'm just going to click and draw out a text area like that, and then I'm just going to type in there gallery with a capital G. There we go. And what I'll do is I'll highlight that text. I just need it to be a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to increase the font size there like that. Neat little trick here is if you double click on the corner, it will automatically shrink that text frame area to match the size of the text that's inside of it. So that's a nice little trick to learn about. I'm then going to rotate that round as well, so I want that to go round, let's have a look, 90 degrees. That's about right, and then I need that to then go inside of here. Oh, and it's quite small, so I'm going to just drag that out, and I think I will make that text a lot bigger. So let's just go and highlight that again. Let's put the text up and let's make it nice and big. There we go, and then we need to just increase the size of our text frame. And I'm just going to double click on the corner again just to resize that text frame automatically to match the text that's inside there. So I'm going to place that text roughly about there. There we go. Okay, next thing to do is to get some images on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a command in D to open up for some images. That's to place some images. So I'm going to pick up a few images here. So I'm just going to hold down the command key and select 3 different images. So let's go for those 3, and I'm going to click open, and that should load my mouse. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to click and draw out a box, but then I'm going to use my right arrow key to split that into 3 little micro boxes, and I'm just going to resize that. So as you click and drag out, you can use your arrow key, and I showed that in a previous video where we're working with images as a little trick, and that splits it up into 3 boxes. When I let go, it places the images inside of there. I want them to really fit into the frame, so I'm going to right mouse click and go to fitting and fill frame proportionally, and there goes my 3 thumbnail images. Now they're all selected together, which means that they can all be moved together. So I'm now going to grab those and place them probably around about there. Whilst they're still big, I'm going to hold down Command and Shift and just drag them out and make them a little bit bigger. And Command and Shift means that not only does the frame resize, but the image inside will resize as well at the same time. If you were just to grab one of the corner handles, you're only resizing the frame but not the image. So that's another neat little trick. Let's just position that in place. So I think that will do something, just using my cursor keys just to nudge it around and get it into place. There we go. So I think something like that will do the trick. There we go. Okay, now what I need to do, now I've built my sort of content that's going to slide in off the side of the page, now I need to create a frame that this content is going to go inside of. So that's really important. You need to get your content together like this, okay, and then you need to create a frame that it's going to contain this content. So that frame needs to be slightly bigger than this one. So I'm just going to click and drag it out and probably stop around about there, somewhere around about there will do me. So I'm just going to move that up off the page, and that is going to be the frame that this is going to go into. So let's just move that right off the page. Okay, now the key thing here is I need to get all of this content inside of here. So to do that, I'm just going to select it all and group it all. So I need to have this background, these three images, and this text all selected and then grouped. To do that quickly, I'm just going to click and drag over them, and it will select all of them in one go. And then I'm going to do Command G to group them all as one object. Okay, now that I've got them grouped, I can go to the Edit menu and choose Cut. Now I need them to go inside this frame. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Edit and Paste Into, and it places that content inside that frame. Now if you click the little circle, you can grab the content that's inside the frame and position it where you want it to be. Okay, I'm just going to do Command minus just to zoom out a bit, because I need this frame to go right on the edge of the page. So this is the container that holds all the content inside of it. So I want that right on the edge of the page, and then I'm going to click to select my grouped content that we pasted into the frame, and I'm going to drag that out off the screen so that the only thing that is showing is, let's just use my cursor keys now, is the word gallery and a little bit of what looks like a tab. So it's very important that you have your content off the screen, but the box that it's going to come out into is placed on the screen. So when people grab this and drag it out, it will extend to the edge of this box, but no further. So if you wanted it to come out much further, you would need to make this frame much longer. Okay, let's now give that make it a scrollable. So I'm going to click on the frame here, go to Window, go to Folio Overlays, allow that panel window to launch, go to Scrollable Frame, and the scroll direction is going to be horizontal, because I want it to go from the right and scroll out to the left. So horizontal. I'm going to use the document position, and I think I will hide the scroll bar for this option. We don't need to see a scroll bar on this one. Okay, so let's give that a go now that we've set those options up. So I'm going to go to File and Folio Preview to test that it's working, and that should launch the Adobe Content Viewer. So we'll just wait for the Adobe Content Viewer to come up. Hopefully it's there. Oh, it wants me to do an update. I'm just going to cancel on that. And you'll experience this when you're doing this. It will then crash. So I'm just going to close that and go to File and Folio Preview again. So these kind of glitches do happen when you want updates to occur. This time it's not asking me for an update, so this time it should work. And now you can see my tab with the word gallery. It's got the rounded corners look, and as I click on it and drag it out, I reveal my images. So here is where I'm setting the scroll of where I want it to come out to. So that's a nice scrollable content that you can see there. Look. So remember, this will be a touch screen, and the user will be able to touch it and flick it out and flick it back. And that's how you create a scrollable tab with content in it that's off the side of the page. That could be placed on either side, or it could be from top to bottom, and you could have people scrolling stuff up or scrolling stuff down. It can contain images, it can contain text, all different kinds of features that you want to appear on the page.